This is a healing about a father whose daughter is about to get married. And he's really upset because he can't attend the wedding. The wedding's in a different country, and due to a variety of reasons, health conditions, money, other dimensions, he can't be at the wedding. And so a whole bunch of different conditions, physical conditions, seems to have arisen, and that's why he reached out to me. He had no idea that the symptoms that he was experiencing had anything to do with his upset that he couldn't be at his daughter's wedding. So and of course I didn't know anything. He basically, the condition that he was most worried about was this pink eye, the conjunctivitis, excuse me, in the left eye. And also there was some issues going on with the left leg. All of a sudden, he was having some pain in the left leg and the left foot as well. So, I was on the left side, so that right away, sort of keyed me into that this was some kind of emotional issue. So now when I tuned in for the healing, originally I saw a bunch of dimensions that I didn't quite know what they were about at the beginning, but then gradually I started to understand. First of all, the left leg was like completely elongated and distorted, like not going straight down. It was going straight, like at an angle, and it was elongated and kind of twisted. And then I went to the eye, the left eye, and it was like the auric left eye, I should say. It was bulging out of the auric face, really, and it was all watery and irritated at the auric level. Obviously, he has the pink eye and he has conjunctivitis, and that's what it really looked like at the auric level. It was the eye was bulging out of the left eye socket, and it was all kind of irritated and watery. And there was another dimension to it that I'll tell you about in a second. But the other facets of this healing that drew my attention immediately also was the relationship between the auric spleen and the auric heart. And this seemed to be a big factor right here, the spleen and the heart. And if you looked at some of the other videos I've made related to the spleen, from my vantage point, at least at the current stage of my own transformation and inner mapping out of how the aura works, from my own self-healing work, and also from thousands of healings that I've done in my 30 years of doing healing work, that the spleen is sort of the first line of defense. If there's an emotional situation that could potentially really jolt the heart and break the heart, emotionally heartbreak, a heartache, some kind of situation where some kind of tragedy happens, and suddenly, your heart, it could potentially just, skip a beat, or arrhythmia, or heart attack and everything. So the spleen is the first line of defense. Some kind of emotional trauma happens, the spleen takes it first, takes the first hit. All right, and then sort of processes it quite a lot, and then decides how much it's going to allow the heart to react to the situation. It's really interesting. So basically, I had to do a lot of healing work on the spleen and the heart, and that's when I really started to understand the connection between the pink eye, and the ungrounded left auric leg, because when I started to work, I started to realize that this was all about his all the emotions related to his daughter getting married, and he can't be there, you know, as frustration and you know, all of his joy, all the expectations, you know, everything related to his baby girl getting married. And what it did is it really just, it popped, you know, because the eyes are the windows of the soul. So his heart, and it was, you know, every emotion you can imagine coming up from the heart, and then the eyes are the windows of that. And so the eye now was just watering and bulging. And what I also saw was that there was a spirit entity, that, because the auric eye was bulging out of the head, a spirit entity from some kind of event this, you know, he went to recently, a spirit entity, you know, saw the bulging eye, left eye, and attached itself to it. So that was even making it more irritating now, because now something was actually pulling on the left auric eye, you're helping it to come out of the socket, making it even more irritated. So that was actually one of the first things I had to do, was get rid of that entity, pull that spirit entity off of the left auric eye. Then working with the bottom of the left foot, sort of reconnecting the auric, you know, connections up the left side, connecting the bottom of the left foot through the pelvis to the auric spleen and the auric heart, working with all those emotions in the auric heart, and then gradually bringing the auric left eye back into the head, you know, and grounding the whole left side, putting, you know, the whole left side of the aura back inside the auric body. And so really, it really worked nicely. I felt like he was, you know, very calm and grounded, and you know, composed. Of course, you know, the wedding's in a couple of days, so he might be calling me again, you know, in a couple of days, because it's, you know, the emotions are still there. But at least for today, we put him back in his body, in his auric body. We put the auric left eye back in the face, in the head, and gave him back the coordination of the left leg, and also calmed down this whole area, the spleen and the heart area. So, all right.